Our neighbourhoods project. So this is a culmination of almost 2 years worth of the program. So we're really, really excited to hear about all the projects and all the initiatives that have taken part over the year. I would like to just welcome our online participants. If you do have your cameras on, it would be lovely, but we can get a wave at least from Anna. And we have Councillor Charlene McLean. We need another wave from you, Councillor. There we go. So we're going to, in the essence of making sure that everyone can attend. It's a very cold evening, so we're doing an online session as well, so people can participate. So thank you very much for that, Chris. We're going to have a bit of an interactive activity later on today. So today's People Power Places program. Sorry, my introduction. Saeed is I'm the area manager for the Plaistow and the Green Street neighbourhood. And just a little bit of housekeeping with any of these events. We've got to make sure that everybody is safe, everybody is comfortable. I do apologise for the lighting. We had a trip in the site earlier this week, so it's not intentional. So we do apologise for that. In terms of, we do have a BSL interpreter. For those who need a BSL interpreter, they're on their way. So if you could just bear with us for that. When you came into the library today, we asked you about photo consent. So we would love to take some photographs and some filming of the sessions, and just for a record. So if you have got a label, we do know that we can't take pictures of you, but please do. Anybody of the staff members taking photographs, could you just let them know? That would be lovely. Thank you. The room team. So again, these events do not take place without our staff team. So staff team, if you could just raise your hand. So you all know Natasha. Natasha, yeah. And we've got Afia, we all know Afia. Andrew and Ruth at the back. We've got Mary and Jennifer and some volunteers at the front. So we're here to support you today. So those who've raised their hands, please do let us know. There's no fire alarm or no drill taking place. So if the alarm does take place, staff members will direct you out of the building opposite. But we'll be wearing the bibs, so should you do that. There's teas and coffees at the back, and the restrooms are at the back there. So again, with the photography, I've gone through that, but please do have a quick read. We will be posting photographs on the council's social media and newsletters and things like that. So the schedule, so I'll go through this very, very quickly. In terms of the schedule, while we're here, we're going to introduce you to our councillors, all our councillors. If you could just raise your hands, councillors that are here today. Yep, I'll be asking councillors to say a few words in a moment. And we've got our working group members, which I'll introduce a little bit later. But the main thing today is to get some feedback and hear from all the projects that you all voted for. Really, really important, and it's going to be a celebration. And then we're going to have an opportunity for residents, for online participants to ask questions directly to each of the project leads, should there be any. And then it's a free-for-all marketplace where you're going to go around and talk to the project leads and get some ideas and see what some of their experiences are, some of the challenges, some of the exciting positive outcomes. Okay, so in terms of the People Power Places, we've been running these programs since 2018, and we're now 2025. This is one of the largest participatory budgeting programs in the country. And we are actually, Newham is actually a trailblazer in working with residents, supporting residents and listening to their residents. There's 8 neighbourhoods in the borough, and out of those neighbourhoods, each neighbourhood was allocated £200,000 to support the local priorities and the issues and concerns that are most important to the local residents. You might ask the question about where does the money come from? There's something called NCIL, which is Neighbourhood Community Infrastructure Levy. So when any new developer comes into the borough, there is a charge put onto those developers to improve and support the local community. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask Natasha. So you all know Natasha, who's been working with all the project leads over. Okay, we'll just let our interpreter come in. Yeah. So this is Irina. Okay, so what we will do, I'm going to ask Natasha just to go over the cycle over the last 2 years. Okay.
Hello. So the project, let me get out the light. The project was launched over only almost 2 years ago in April 2023. The first session that we started with was our priorities. So that's when we went over the priorities for Plaistow and what we could do, the priorities that would be for this particular ward. We then moved on to our solutions, where we talked about ideas that would help solve these problems, for, particularly for Plaistow. After that, we moved on to the application stage. So we had a lot of applications coming through for Plaistow, and we moved on to the big vote. So that's where you all voted for the 15 projects that are here today. And that was announced in November of 2023. Project delivery started in January 2024, and all projects delivered for a year. And then we had our projects event in the library. I'm not sure if you remember, it was a similar style where we checked in with each project about the progress as they were halfway through. They continued delivery, and now we are at our neighbourhoods, where you will hear about the projects that have now finished and the progress they were able to make. And that was it.
Thank you very much for that, Natasha. So you can see it's been a very busy period over the last 2 years, you know, from the whole cycle. Oh, apologies. Sorry. Okay, so Plaistow is made up of 3 wards. So we've got Plaistow North, Plaistow South, Plaistow West, and Canning Town East. And each of those wards has councillors supporting their local residents. So at this point, I'm going to ask our councillors if they wouldn't mind coming to the front just to say a few remarks, if that's okay. So councillors, Plaistow councillors. Okay, so we'll just wait for the councillors to come to the front. So I wouldn't mind, if it's okay, councillors, if you just introduce yourselves and your experiences of the People Power Places programme, and I'm going to hand it over to you. Is that okay?
Good evening, everyone. Councillor Jane Lofthouse, Plaistow South. I've been on the working group for these projects since their inception. I mean, this is the 3rd time round. And I think they've just got from better to fantastic to absolutely superb and wonderful. And it's lovely to see the projects that have been created. There's all the happy hormone projects, the exercise that makes you, reduces stress, makes you feel good, and reduces pain as well. So lovely things, all those exercise for everybody. The healthy eating projects, again, for everybody. So I really think a tremendous amount of work has gone into these, and we've seen it in the working group. How much work, how much effort, how much imagination. So I think it's fantastic, and I'm really pleased with them, and I hope you're enjoying them too. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Councillor Sophia Naqvi from Plaistow North. I've been I can't say we're newly, it's been over a year now, but the projects I've been involved in and I've seen, I'm amazed at how it has all finished. Because the way things have started, I didn't thought the way things would go that way. But it was nice to see how the collaboration between the normal general public and was with the council, and especially being part of the working group, which I mean, only attended the last meeting, it's great to see. And like for me, the Maraga project, where they made the communal kitchen, and that was amazing to see how a kitchen you think is nothing, but for those residents, it was a big thing. And the way they were involved, especially Sybil, I mean, I must say, I do salute her, the way she questioned everything, and it's nice to see how sincerely passion everyone had. And other projects too, like mental health by Shaba, that was amazing too. And Natasha, I mean, sorry, not Natasha, sorry. Sandra, sorry. So I'm still out of everything. Sandra, it's so great to see how everyone's passionate about different things in their life and how they want to make changes to the community. And I hope things do continue, and I hope that we see the collaboration between the general public and the council. Thank you.
Hiya, evening everyone. Simon Rush, Councillor Plaistow West, Canning Town East. Believe it or not, I'm saying similar to, I did mine earlier, she did. But well, it's probably because we're all thinking on the same lines of how wonderful everything is, and so that explains the similarities anyway. The varying projects are now mainly underway. I think we all agree here that they're all truly inspiring, especially as I'm fully aware of the hard work that goes into each and every one of these projects that are set up to help others. And I'm going to nick somebody else's wording now, in the beating heart of Newham, Plaistow. Thank you, Carly. From the recruitment, a refurbishment of Hamari Gar, the communal kitchen, bringing residents and the surrounding community together, highlighting the first one, highlighting the Christmas get-together. I think that was around the 19th of December. That was, from my understanding, truly a real success. To Cooking for Health, in providing residents lessons on healthy eating, a good way to change eating habits in the borough. To chair-based yoga, fun at the English way, we can all keep fit. A healthy body, I always believe, equals a healthy mind, so don't look at my stomach. We should all aspire to that, and I do include myself in that. And obviously the allotment gardening at St Mary's, the Peace Garden, and finally I can't mention them all. I can't see them all because I haven't got my glasses on tonight. The Women and Girls Self-Defence, which I hope will help all the participants in feeling a bit safer as they go about their daily routines. It's important to Newham that we all feel safe in our everyday lives as we build towards a fair and safe Newham. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Hi everyone. So majority of you know who I am. I'm Councillor Carlin Lee Parkway, Plaistow South, at the very, very best part of Plaistow, by the way. What do I want to say? So everything has already been said, but what I want to say is thank you to everybody that's turned out tonight. Thank you that you're always here. There are very much the same faces that I see every single meeting. So thank you for being here. Thank you to every single one of the residents, CICs, organisations that have put your time together in order to produce these wonderful plans and give back to our community, the community which we call home. So thank you for that. I, like Jane, have been here since the inception of these projects, when they were called something completely different. And I am really excited to have seen the amount of work that's gone in, but actually what's come out. We have various different things that have taken place in the Plaistow area that has made this area a little bit more better for us all. So I just want to give credit where credit is due to all those people that have looked after the space, that have been to the space, that have been part of the planning, and all the other things that it's taken in order to get this to work. A big thank you to the team here at Plaistow Library. Without you, none of this would be possible. The hours and hours of going through all the applications, the due diligence that takes, the learning that we've gone through throughout this process. I want to thank you all. Thank you, Saeed, for leading this all and making sure it's a success. What I would say is, as we come to the last meeting of this cycle, what I would say is, what's going to happen for the next cycle? Let's think about some of those amazing things, out of the ordinary things that we could actually deliver here in Plaistow. Remember, and you will all know this, Plaistow is the heart of Newham. So let's make sure that the new projects that are going to come out, those that are sitting down to this evening thinking about, actually, what can I give back? What is it that I want down the end of my street? Make sure that you come back with some of my most fantastic ideas, and we as your councillors are here to support you. If you need any help from us, if you need any assistance, please do contact us and we will be more than willing to help you in your planning stage of your project. So thank you. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you very much, Councillor. So can we give our councillors who are advocates for this programme, I've I've done it again, haven't I? Apologies. Who are advocates for the People Power Places programme. So another round of applause for our councillors. We do have Councillor Neil Wilson here today as well, but he has his surgery, so he's on duty at the moment. So he's not here. He's at the back, isn't he? So thank you. Okay, thank you very much, councillors. Okay, so right at the beginning of the cycle, you all identified, residents of Plaistow identified what the 3 key priorities were for the neighbourhood. So each of these projects around the room today either address one or more of those key priorities. So those key priorities are health and well-being, community safety, and environment and public spaces. And you can see by some of the images at the top there that it's truly a participatory program. Lots and lots of people are involved. We've got people online here today. Thank you. Okay, so just go through a few bits and pieces today. So Plaistow was awarded just over £210,000 to deliver 15 projects this year. We received 366 applications across the borough. So if you added the value of each of those projects, it came up to £4.6 million. That's a huge amount of resource that could have been put into addressing all those priorities. Unfortunately, the council doesn't have all that kind of resources, so 1.6 million has been allocated. Over 10,000 residents, individual residents, voted at the voting stage. Who voted? Yep. So we can see a majority of the residents around the room here voted. And we had 15 projects that were successful. Okay, there's a quiz for people, so you can shout out. No? You gave that away. So, you may not know some of these, but you read the earlier slide, you may have done. So, 4,386. What do you reckon that number could be, represents? Projects? Residents? Absolutely. So, if we put up the thing. So, the answer is the amount of, the level of engagement of people who attended the People Power Places events across the 8 neighbourhoods. What do you reckon 366 is? Oh, projects, 366 projects, correct answer? So the number of applications that we received, 366. Okay, you should get this one because I didn't mention the other slide. 10,000. Right, John, you're not allowed to answer anymore because you've got 2 right now. Fantastic. And the 91, I'll go into these. So 91%. So 91% found it easy to participate in these types of events. And 88%, that was very flashy, wasn't it? Of residents felt more connected to their community when coming to these People Power Places events. So this is why at the end of each of the events, we collect evaluation forms. So this is how we can actually quantify how people found these events. Thank you, Chris. Okay, I'm just going to give a quick one. I think I've done a lot of talking. We really want to hear from the project leads today. So I'll give a couple of examples. So these are the what residents, actually participants of the People Power Places program, some feedback that Chris and Anna have been carrying out across the borough. So if we can just click on the button. Anything comes up? Nothing? Okay. So if we look at, I'm going to take a couple here. So connections to the council. So what residents said about connections to the council. I think it's a step in the right direction, seeing the council give power to residents. It shows they're listening and trying to meet the local needs of the community. And this was a resident from Plaistow South Big Local, gave some of that feedback. Okay, we're going to leave this up. We're going to put this up so you can have a read of it throughout the session, should we need to. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll do one more. Reducing loneliness and isolation. I look forward to Thursday. It keeps you connected with society because otherwise we're stuck at home on our own and we feel like aliens. When you come here, you feel you're part of the human race again. So this was a resident in the Stratford and West Ham area. Okay, so they're really, really touching feedback. Okay, so right at the beginning of the assembly, we recruited working group members. So these are local residents who live in and around Plaistow, and they've been crucial to how the program was delivered. They went out and met the project leads, they assessed, which I think Councillor Carleen mentioned, they went out and they assessed the applications, went and met the groups, and actually gave some feedback on how we could improve the cycle. So I'd just like to ask some of our working group members to come to the front, if that's okay, if you're able to. If you can come to the front, working group members. All right, let's give him a little round of applause. Come on, Beverly. Shafia. Okay, I'm just going to give you the mic and... Oh, we've got a couple more members coming out. There we go. Francis? Okay, so these are... Okay, if you wouldn't mind just moving just across a touch, please. Okay, so I'm going to ask a couple of you if you're happy to say a few words as working group members about maybe your experiences. Is that okay? Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Hetu. I'm one of the newer members of the working group for Plaistow. I have been very fortunate. Can you hear me? Oh, so let me start again. Happy New Year! My name's Hetu. I'm one of the newer working group members of Plaistow. I've been with the group for a year. I've been a resident for Newham for over 40 years. I really wanted to get involved because I get quite passionate when I see my sort of community roads and we all talk about the things that are going wrong, but what do we actually do to take action? So I thought it's a great opportunity for me to get involved and make a difference. I was fortunate to be involved in some of the projects, and I was amazed and wowed and quite humbled about to see the effort and energy and passion, dedication I can go on that people like myself put in to do better and good for the community. I do want to mention a few projects, if that's all right, that ones that I have visited. So David, I came down to Christchurch and I was overwhelmed by the passion, dedication and energy that everyone's shown. And also True Ambassadors, wonderful work. I've not been to everyone, but I just want to say truly and honestly, sincerely, you guys make such a big difference to the community, and I feel very blessed to be part of the community in Newham as well. So thank you.
Hello, good evening. My name is Yetunde Muda. I'm one of the Plaistow residents. I've lived in Plaistow since 1984, and one of the working group member, which I've been right from the start. It's been a privilege, being a working group member and being able to participate and, get involved with what concerns you, because I'm a member, I live in Plaistow, and, I like to see, Plaistow being at the top. We've always been at the top, and I want us, like, to continue to be, is the heart of Newham. And then, but there's few issues, which needed to be addressed, which, thank God, the mayor, and some other people have this initiative about, giving power to people and allowing people to, what needed to be done in their community and getting involved. And I'm very, very happy that all the project leaders have, and the members have really, really, come out with good initiative to make Plaistow a better place, because there's so many areas where, I think, yes, the council is doing their bit, but they can't always, do everything. And, giving the power to the people to actually see what really needed to be done is very, very a good initiative. So thank you very much for all the project leaders and their members. And then I'm going to just mention one of the projects which was a part of, in my heart, which are right from the start, I know it's going to be a success, which is the Christchurch. I visited them, and then they, really make a big difference to the people in the community. Thank you very much, David and others. And also Sandra, Sandra, who she has done a very, very good job, for the young people, teaching them, encouraging them. Some children, they just sit around, they can't, on one side, they can't get involved, but she really, helped these children to bring the best out of them. So thank you, Sandra. So thank you, everyone. And as I said, I feel very privileged to be part of it. So I encourage, more members of the community to join the working group. Thank you.
Huge thank you to each and every one of you. We've had a number of meetings and we've had lots and lots of conversations, discussions, and ways that it can improve the program. So without each and every one of you who've supported it, a huge thank you. Okay, thank you. Oh, Tony wants to say a few words. Tony, you've got a maximum of 1 minute.
Right, maximum 1 minute. Plaistow is now doing a lot. It is up to you to find out what is happening by visiting your local library, going online and seeing what is going on. If not for yourself, for people who have family problems, mental problems, physical problems, there's something going on which all you can access and take advantage of. So that is all I will say is, if it's there, use it.
Thank you very much for that, Tony. So Tony, you're going to be our next promotional person, going to go around the borough on the bus. Thank you, Tony. Okay, so we're going to go back on to the... I promise I'm not going to speak too long now. I think you're a bit tired of me now. So what we've got to do, we've got another mic here. So this is actually an opportunity to hear back from the project leads, and each project... keep doing that, I apologize, I really do apologize. I keep standing in front of our interpreter. Okay, so I'm going to go around the room. Each project lead will have a maximum of 2 minutes just to give an overview of what the achievements and give an overview of the projects. So who would like to start? I'm going to start off with Shaba.
Good evening, everyone. As Saeed mentioned, my name is Shaba, local resident. First, I started off as a working group member when this was called, who remembers the name, what it was called before? Citizens Assembly, yeah. So I was for about almost a year or two, I think, losing track of time. So I left that and I thought, okay, I want to try and do a project for myself. So this is the project that I started called Mankind. It was based around men's mental health. Prior to this, I was doing some social sessions in Manor Park for men and dads. It was very informal. We had food and discussions and pool tables, games. And from that discussion, from speaking to the attendees, I realized that not everyone, especially men that have gone past a certain age in life, are not mentally in a good space. So I did a lot of research and thought, what could I do? And so I started this project, Mankind. Thanks to Saeed and Natasha, I own big time. My project started very late, unfortunately, because the nature of my work life and family life, it was very difficult. So I started in July, so it was very difficult. Whenever they contact me, I was never in the country, so apologies to them. And they really did help me a lot. And yeah, so we started our projects. It was all, again, informal sessions based around having discussions, board games and food. We had presentations on, well-being for mental health. Des did a wonderful presentation, which probably was the best session that we had on Black History Month, which was really good. And yeah, we kind of finished up the year to December. So once a month we did a session. And the last two sessions, I thought I'd try something a bit different because, because the nature of my work life and family life was hard to really push. So the attendees kept, fluctuating up and down. So I thought I'll try something different. The last 2 sessions we did are men's photography sessions, which were really well. They really enjoyed it, and always we made sure every session ended with good food and whatnot. So this was the crux of it. It's a big learning curve for me because we're not an organization, it's just me by myself. So I learned a lot from this in terms of what I was able to do, learned a lot about myself, and the support we got and the need that we have in the community for men to really be supported in this situation, because obviously men don't like to get involved with these kind of things, they kind of shy away from it. So tried my best, and again, I can't thank Saeed and Natasha enough. They really did push me all the way. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Shaba. That was a little bit longer than 2 minutes, but thank you for that. We're going to now jump across to Plaistow South Big Local.
Hiya, I'm Denny, and I thought it was going around that way, so please excuse me. So I too have been a long time a resident of Plaistow. We actually live in the house my husband grew up in, and I've been here over 30 years, so, and him a lot longer, but I'm not going to divulge his age. So we have, so as I say, I'm from Plaistow South Big Local, and our project is about keeping women and young girls safe. And I think it's a real unfortunate reality that we had to deliver a project about women not feeling safe. But here we are. So we started our project actually back in 2023, where we funded it as a pilot scheme. And we did it with New City School and New Vic, and Memorial Community Church on Barking Road. And we evolved during that year, basing on what the attendees wanted. So we first of all started doing a women's separate sessions and girls separate, girls over 11. And I guess we use that year to define what become our final application. So we use that, the evidence and the foundation for the proposal that we put into PPP. We're very, very fortunate to be successful because there's some hard competition out there, and I think I'd like to say it's a real privilege to be in a room full of people doing incredible work for our borough. So last year, we offered, throughout this year, we've been offering sessions with New City Primary School, which are delivered during the day with childcare, and that's aimed generally at parents. And then on Saturdays, twice a month, we have longer sessions at Memorial Community Church, and that also incorporates any questions and worries that our attendees want. And during those sessions, we work with local community police officers that come in and have what we like to call our couple with a copper sessions, where they can ask questions that might be more legal based. In total, we have run 54 sessions in both settings, including a summer holiday taster programme. We've had 100% good feedback. We've had a local volunteer join us who was upskilled along the way by taking over a lot of the sessions and helping us run them. In total, we've had 222 people attending, 108 of those women and girls at these Saturday sessions, and 104 women-only sessions at New City. I'm just going to read out a couple of the quotes. So we've had someone say, "This is my first session, but it was lively and interactive, and I learnt new skills. I feel that it's great what I've learned. I've gained confidence. It's very important for women, especially nowadays. I enjoyed the course. I learnt some really useful tips and techniques for self-defence." And that's what we wanted. We wanted women and girls to feel more confident in their surroundings. We can't necessarily solve this problem, but we wanted to give them that right to be able to walk around and feel confident where they live. And I'm hoping we're getting there. People are liking it. As I say, we're very thankful for the funding, and we've been able to deliver those sessions for free as a result of it. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much. So I'm just going to be mindful of timing. If we could try and keep our updates to a couple of minutes, I can probably squeeze a little bit more. But thank you for the first two projects. You've got the floor there. Because we want to go around each and every group just to get some feedback. So I'm going to hand over to Christchurch.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel, and I am the project lead for the Unlocking Health and Wellbeing to Transform Lives in Plaistow. And I'm joined by Tope and Michelle, who were also project leads working with me. We essentially set up 5 projects, but I'm going to tell you a bit about sort of the reasoning and the rationale behind why we took on the challenge to do these projects. So we all knew around the time, around 2023, the impacts that COVID had on the community. We also noticed that for our vulnerable groups and for our young at hearts and the young children, there was a lack of engagement and they felt isolated at home most often. But also we knew that for in Newham particularly, there's a high level of anxiety, depression, and stress and mental health conditions. And so we set out to really tackle these kind of challenges and the disparities that are rooted in Newham. So our goal for this project was really to tackle these pressing needs, foster inclusivity, and improve the community's mental health and overall well-being by engaging all the age groups. So we didn't want to make anyone feel left out. So our projects focused on under 15s all the way through to over 75s. And we felt that everyone really enjoyed it. If you can show, we've got some pictures over here, so maybe someone can, thank you. So to begin with, we had something called the outreach event, which was open to both men and women of all ages. And we had mental health professionals and specialists and speakers talking about how to improve your well-being. We had food, we had workshops, we had free massages. So that was a really enjoyable event. We've got some pictures over here as well to show some of the engagements that we were having during those events. It was really well attended. We had over both sessions about 100 people turning up. We even had support from the NHS with leaflets and newsletters. The second project we did was Men's Brunch, which we had an event with men coming together, having therapy session together, having a chance to open up and talk about the challenges they're facing and get the strategies and coping mechanisms to cope. And they had lovely food as well. The third one was kids' summer activities. The kids had a great summer last year. They went to the beach, they went to Legoland, they had sports activities, and they also had music therapy, which we found extremely rewarding for all the kids involved and their parents. And then the final event that we did was the Young at Heart. Now this really touched my soul. And also getting the feedback from the Young at Heart, doing chair exercises, having a Christmas meal, getting a chance to do music therapy. They individually said, we want more of this. Otherwise, I would have been stuck at home. I would have been isolated. Thank you for putting this together. We need more of this. So to all the working groups, thank you for voting for us. Thank you, residents, for voting for us. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Saeed. Thank you to all the volunteers and everyone who was involved in the project. I can see one of our board members, Charity, on there. We love you so much. Thank you, and we want more of this.
Thank you very much, Andy. That's fantastic. So we're going to have a session after this quick whistle-stop 2-minute update where you can actually have a conversation with each of the project leads and have a whole dialogue. Is that okay? Yep. Okay, so we're going to go across to David.
Good evening, everyone. My name is David Diabana from the African Caribbean Center in Plaistow. Our project was an outdoor project, and we worked in Plaistow Park. The idea was to get people out of indoor activities and use the green spaces, the open spaces. And we had two activities. One was for younger people, and the other was for older people. The one for the older people was dance class in the park, and for the younger people, or table tennis. The table tennis is a fixed table tennis board there. Each week, every Tuesday, we had an instructor who will come and teach younger people, or anyone for that matter, who does not understand how to play table tennis, or the art of playing table tennis and what the rules are. That was done for 90 minutes each time. In the first half of the program, which started in June, we worked with 240 participants, and in the second half, we worked with just over that amount. So in the entire period, we worked with about 500 young people. Some were from local schools, some not schooling, not studying, or doing other things. Sometimes some even came with their parents to play, which was good to see. The idea was to make it an intergenerational event, which it was. And there were a few occasions where the weather wasn't good. It was raining, it was cold, so we had to move to the center because we also have table tennis boards at the center, so which was an added value to the project. For the older people's one, that again, we had the same thing. We had, well, not the same kind of numbers, obviously. On the average, we did have about 9 people each time. But when the weather again was cold or it rained, we moved to the center, which is not so far away. Effectively, it was a very good project, especially the table tennis one, because it's something that will never really end. Technically, we have ended the project in December. That's when it was funded to, but people are still using the table tennis and playing there every day. Those who are playing even on their own, after we taught them, are a lot more than the people that we directly engage with. From our own guesstimate, or going there from time to time to check on different days of the week, I think we saw that in the period, excluding the 500 that we worked directly with, there were over 1,600, that was the first half, about 2,800 people to 3,000 people who are using it that we did not or are not directly working with. Those are people who go there on their own. Now we had, one important thing was that there were a few people who always came. So what we did on the last day, we sort of gave them a present. But for the elderly one, there was a lady particularly who was always there every week, except when she went away on holiday and came back and continued. So I will say it was an excellent project, and it's something that needs to be continued. Big kudos to Plaistow, and especially for Said and Samantha for the interest that they have in the borough as a whole, and also in particular for Plaistow. And the table tennis, I think it's something that we need to continue. I say that because most times there are more people that we can attend to at the same time. They were saying to us, why don't you have a second table, a third table? I laughed. I told them, yes, we will want to have that, but it's all funding dependent. So that's something to look at for next time. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, David. So, Natasha, if we can pass that over to Sandra's having a lollipop.
I thought I had time. I'm setting my timer for 2 minutes. Started.
Thank you, Sandra.
You're welcome. Hi, my name is Sandra Amwa. I'm the service lead, in fact, of the Archdiocese-led mental health group.
We put in for some funding. We got just over £18,000 to hold a calendar, whole year calendar. I'll tell you it was 9 months because we got our money a little bit later than we should have done. So make sure I put that little bit in there. But for the last 9 months, we've been busy, very busy. Our very first thing that we started to do, we kicked off with children's activities. We didn't have an age range. It was if a baby wanted to attend, that baby could attend. If someone who was 96 wanted to attend, they could attend. So we had no age limit. We started off with children, started off with mental health, well-being, bingo. So it was bingo, included tips on well-being for children. From there, I don't even want to go into it because I will be here all day. We've done a little booklet here to let you know about things that have been going on. But we've done 2 huge events in Plaistow Park. Our first one was a bit watery, thanks to the weather, but we still had 74 people turn up. Our second one, we had 279. So to me, that's boop, boop, boop. We've also held wellbeing workshops. So we did a 12-week workshop. It was due to be for 12 people, but again, due to the contingency plan that we had to bring in, due to funding being a little bit late, we ended up having up and down to about 23 people attending a week for 12 weeks. We've also, I just want to pass over to Bronwyn, who's going to read a testimony from somebody, and I think this feeds back everything that we've done, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse my nervousness. So this is a testimony from someone who's been joined in the project. When I first found out about the Mood, Mind and Body project that helps with mental health and wellbeing in Plaistow, I was in 2 minds about going to a group meeting. But after much consideration, I decided to go along and see what it was all about for myself. When I attended my group session for the first time, I felt really nervous because I didn't know what was going to happen or what was going to be said. But I was made to feel welcome, as if I have been going there for quite a while. After a few more group meetings, I started getting used to it. I was feeling more confident when it came to talking in front of other people in the group. Going to the mental health group has helped my confidence levels build up. Also, they have helped me with my stress, anxiety, and depression. I really feel I have come a long way in leaps and bounds through the advice and help from Sandra and Bronwyn, and also the other volunteers that are involved with the mental health group. I appreciate everything that has been done to help me through my journey. Without the advice and help from those who I have mentioned, who, as far as I'm concerned, are very special people who go the extra mile to support and advise others like myself to not only feel better within themselves, but also have the confidence to approach certain obstacles that come their way. In the past, others like myself would not know how to deal with these situations. So once again, I want to say to all the volunteers involved with the mental health group, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much for that. That was brilliant, thank you. Could feel your energy, Sandra. Could feel your energy. Brilliant, thank you very much for that. Marion, we're going to come over to you in just a moment. I'm going to go over to True Ambassadors, then we'll come over to Marion. Okay, so True Ambassadors.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Doris. I'm the project lead and the CEO and founder of True Ambassadors. What more will I say? I just want to say a big thank you to the working group, to the councillors, to everyone that has voted for our project. I'm actually short of words because the People Power Project has brought us to light. Not just only in Newham, but we've gone more deeper and international. A lot of people want to come to our sessions, far and near, with what we are doing. And we had opportunity to welcome different dignity. All this would not have happened without the People Power Projects. And we got our funding. Before the voting started, we started working with the new, the Plaistow community neighborhood I want to say a big thank you to Said. You're more or less a mentor and a father. Thank you so much. You opened the pathway for us. Natasha, thank you. Afia, thank you. I don't know what we would have done without People Power Project. Our session starts 11:15 at the Leisure Center. So 1:15, they will come to the community center where we have holistic activities, different activities, massage session, different head speakers, different professionals come down to us. Not just coming to give an enlightenment and awareness. We had opportunity to welcome the GP from Wood Green, the gut head, cancer head. They were there with us. We work with My Research, and we also work with a lot of organizations. So I want to say thank you. It's a pleasure to come from Newham, to come from Plaistow, to come from the Plaistow neighborhood. And we've been able to get more funding to continue our projects. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you very much, Doris. We're going to come over to Dost and Marianne.
Hello. I'm not used to microphones. My name's Marianne, and I run the DOS Centre for Young Refugees and Migrants, and we run a centre for 13 to 19-year-old young people from like a refugee or migrant background, just in the Newham Leisure Centre down the road where I've just come from now because Youth Club's on now. And thanks to PPP, we managed to run like over 200 sessions for, we had 517 young people come during the year from 58 different countries, mostly boys, like I think 497 boys and 21 girls, but mostly from Sudan, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Syria, Iran, Iraq, lots of different countries. And we do 2 youth clubs every week, so we do like lots of different sports, and we run an English class every week as well in Custom House Library. And the young people just get to make friends, like practice English, improve their English, like feel less isolated, do lots of different sports like football, volleyball, cricket, basketball, badminton, table tennis, and pool. And then when they come to the youth club, we also then take them on trips and residentials, and this funding paid for the food for all the sessions at youth club, for the staff and for the rent. So that was fantastic. Thank you, everybody that voted. And then also we refer young people onto other projects like work experience. We refer them to get a free bicycle. We take them on 3, 4, 5-day residentials outside London to sort of learn cooking and do workshops on different subjects. And yeah, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind handing the mic to you. Natasha, if you pass the mic across. So Virginia, over to you.
My name is Virginia, and the project was for elderly people and young people fitness. And we had salsa lessons, Tai Chi, Zumba, and yoga. This is one of the things we use so that when you need to lie on the floor, to lie on instead of the floor. I noticed that in doing that, so many people that came that they could hardly walk at all, but then I noticed that they pucked up and they were able to do more, and they had more energy and were doing much more things. I believe this kind of exercise is suitable for all sorts, whether you are ill, whether you are well, whether you are young or whether you are old. If you are young, it's to keep you young so that you don't get too old. And if you're old, it's to make you feel better and look better. So I think all around this was very good. We had many people in those lessons. When they come, people like to come, and sometimes we get new people coming, sometimes 30, sometimes 40, sometimes more. Our last lesson was done here, and it was something that you're being taught, steps for dancing, and there were many people doing dancing, including me. So I think all in all, it was a great thing that happens for all the people. The older people, I find, didn't stay at home so much. They try to come here and do the lessons. And when they finish, sometimes they stay to get warmth, and then go home so that they don't have to burn too much gas. So, so we are grateful for all of those things that has been done, and we also have to thank the library for all the good works they've done for us. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Virginia. We're going to hand over to Hamaragar.
Sybil Simon, speaking about the refurbishment of Hamaragar Kitchen. Hamaragar is one of 6 resident-led schemes within the Borough of Newham, and Hamaragar consists of 124 flats. Before Hamaragar was a learning hub where we had a number of classes going on, and as a result of which we had a very, very productive kitchen running. It was running, offering meals to the residents, including the drop-in sessions that were taking place. We had computer classes going on, Zumba, chair-based exercises, yoga, art and painting. We had knitting classes going on, and so residents could feel that at the end of their session, they could go down for a meal, which was being provided for. Right, then came COVID, and I think COVID put to bed a lot of the conveniences that were running within the borough, and we really took a bad hit. The kitchen went into disuse, and it was only some of the equipment that was actually working over there. So when the opportunity came to apply for the funding to upgrade our kitchen, we did seek permission. So this is actually a resident-led initiative. The council were very, very happy that somebody was taking the initiative. We took the initiative, got the funding for it, this is when in January 2024, we learned that the Hamaragar building itself was ready for a big modernization program. So this funding that we got through for the kitchen was part of that modernization project, and I think it went down very well with management. However, given all things council related, it does take its time. We had a little bit of a setback because we had to build in the progress of the kitchen upgrade with the rest of the building upgrade that was happening at the time. So through all the ups and downs, finally it was in November 2024 when something took, the project actually came alive. And in the month of November 2024, they started and completed the project. So we have a really smashing kitchen unit running now. And this culminated in us having a real fantastic Christmas celebration, kicking off the start of the use of the new kitchen. Now, what is happening is because within the Newham Borough, we have very few communal kitchens running. So the discussion is going around over there, leading with our management and the PPP staff, whether we throw open our kitchen as a communal kitchen resource for the rest of the borough. So if anybody is interested in hosting an event, whether we have private parties or whether there is exercise group that wants to come in, we currently have dominoes, bingo,
and a singing and dancing group that comes in, attends classes over there within the building. But we are open to any form of activity going on, and hopefully soon it will be more populated in the days to come. Thank you very much for the funding. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Elaine. I'm from St Mary's Allotments. We are probably the oldest project because our allotments have been going since 1906. And they were created by a group of very brave men who decided that this land could not just stand there. And they were known as the Plaistow land grabbers. And if you come over to our stand, you'll be able to see some of the history. One of the problems we have is trying to get community cohesion on our plots, trying to get people together, because what happens, you're going through the gate, you do your bit, you go home, and we wanted to change that. And so a little space that we've got, we've tried to make that a lot better and to make it more possible for people to come. I have to say that when this was mooted that we could get this money, I didn't actually think we would get it, and I didn't think we would get enough money to make the difference, but actually it has more or less done it. And one of the things that we've done is that we have a shipping container that really looked very rough, and we've kind of done that up with a local charity called New Way. The New Way? They're called New Way, New Life? New Life. And they're just based in East Town. And even the signage that we've got, if you have a look on here, a signing company just around the corner. And so I always say to people, go local. We have more to do, and we've really appreciated getting the money. I think it's been hard won. Mary, who will just look away now, has done so much of making this happen. She really has. I'm chair, and Mary is more than just a secretary. She's just done ridiculous amounts of work. You really have, and we're really grateful for that. The last thing I would like to say is that we have 132 plots. And that sounds lovely, but quite a lot of them have not been let out, and that's not on our table. I'm afraid it is on you and council. You need to kind of pull your socks up, really, because we know that over the whole borough, there are 4,000 people who would like to have an allotment. There are 8 sites, and we just need to do more. I've been in this borough for 45 years. I've had my plot for 34 years. And every time we have a committee meeting, we have about 8 things that go round and round, and we can never resolve them because it's not just on us. So we would like bigger partnership with Newham Council. We really would. We'd like things to happen. We have people looking in through the gates asking, is there any chance of a plot? And they should be. Not more than a chance, it should be a certainty. But we are very grateful for the PPP money. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Elaine from Hamarda. So we've got just three more groups to go, I believe, at the back. So if we could just very quickly go through those groups as well, please.
Hi, have I got the right place? Hello, yeah. My name's Rian, and my project is a children's little free library. Unfortunately, I had a few setbacks at the start, and we were a little bit late getting started, but Natasha and Saeed were great. They got us back on track. And finally, I've got a picture here. Our new library's been built. So it's not quite set up yet, but very, very shortly it will be up and running. We've got all the books ready. So if anyone wants to come along to Ling Road, in the next few weeks, the library should be there, and we'd love to see you. With books.
Thank you. That was very short, sharp, and sweet. Thank you, Rian. And now over to Kerwin. Kate?
Afternoon, evening, I don't know where we are. My name's Kate Mansford, I'm the head of school at Kerwin Primary School. As with lots of the projects, this was an existing project, but due to all the various financial and budgetary constraints, was something we couldn't continue running. So our money basically paid for a family bike club. So all the parents, carers, children are invited to come along on a Friday afternoon. We have school bikes and scooters, or they can bring their own. And there's an hour where, with our members of staff there to support them, the children have a safe space to ride round. Parents are really, really pleased. I mean, we're not doing it at the moment because it's too dark and icy and cold, but we'll start again once the spring comes. Parents have said how thankful they are because they don't always feel safe in the local parks, particularly, you know, mums with a few children. They're worried about letting the children just sort of go off and have that freedom that in a school playground they can have. We've had ex-pupils that are at secondary school coming back and joining in. We've had, on average, 3 to 4 children just learn to ride a week. week. Not quite as many parents, I must say. Not got Shabba on a bike yet, actually. But we have had a few parents that have come and joined in and learned to ride, or equally parents that just have time to sit and have chats and conversations and get to know each other a little bit better and develop that community. We've done a Saturday ride, which we advertised in the library, and we went up the Greenway and up to the Olympic Park, so people can see those safe cycling routes we've got available. We did a family bike ride during the school day as well, and we've used some of the money to train up our staff as bikeability trainers, which is what I would have called cycling proficiency, because I'm a bit older, but it's called bikeability these days. So we've got staff trained up so our children can get level 1 and level 2 bikeability, which they do in their PE lessons as well. So it's really gone a long way, this money, and it's made a really big difference. And I've spoken to some of the children. They were all very enthusiastic to write down and tell me what they like about bike riding, and that they can ride a bike and their mums and dads can't, and they're very proud about that fact. So a big thank you.
Hi there, good evening. My name is Toya. I'm from Plaistow Children's Centre. I'm here with my colleague Fazana today. So in the Children's Centre, we run lots of programs for local community, a school community and a community around us. We have families coming all the way from Manor Park, East Ham for our programs. So that's how popular some of our programs are. And it's been nice to see some mums in here that attend our programs. So we also work alongside our partner services like Kerwin and Selwyn School. In our Children's Centre, we've been fortunate to have this funding, and it's been something that's been welcomed by many in our community. We've been providing sensory packs to babies for 0 to 2-year-olds, and these have been quite popular at the moment. As you can see, we've been fortunate to have the water fountain for our midwifery clinics that we run every Tuesday morning. And so it's been quite difficult in the summer. So through our other programs that we've been successful with, for example, the Healthy Start, water dispenser has been a challenge because as staff members, we were running around with jugs in the summer. So this is something the midwives, the parents, the new moms appreciate a lot. So these are some of the examples of bags that we lend out, like a library book, but they use and return back, and then we disinfect, and then we rent it out again. So in our, we've also had some first aid classes, which has been really super successful. And we've got some feedbacks from our parents. For example, one of our mums and dad, who has attended recently, said this was an amazing session that me and my wife attended today. The first aid course was so useful. We have learned so much today. We are so grateful that Plaistow provided this free funded course, as this is highly needed for parents, parent H&H. So this is just one of the examples. And so with People Power, we were able to provide creche for the families who could not leave their children with without any childcare. So we would provide 15 adult attendees and then 11 children. And so far it's been successful. We've had 3 sessions. We've got a very long waiting list. Just hand over to my colleague.
Hi, thank you. So that's what we have achieved so far, the first aid courses and the water dispenser. Yeah. And also our focus have been on health and well-being. So Plaistow Children's Centre is more about health and well-being of the families and the children and the well-being, the mental health of the families. So the Zen Garden is what we focus on the project. So this is basically still in progress right now. We have not achieved this at the moment. So this is what our garden currently looks like. And this is basically the outdoor fun area of our garden, where mums come to our sessions for play sessions. We have the indoor area, this is the outdoor area, the area where they play. So we hope to build the Zen Garden in this playground at the back. This is a floor map of, we've done our research and resources, materials that we're going to use. So that's a work in progress, builders, they take their time. So we have a floor map and everything. And really the objective behind that is to promote well-being, for the families, and because we want to reduce isolation in the community, and families It's more about, it's about being whole. So I know that there's been mental health discussion a lot here today, and that's very good because mental health is not recognised. So to reduce isolation, the mums, when they come for our stay play sessions, they can go in the garden where not only can the children play, but the mums can sit down in the nice Zen garden and relax, you know, enjoy mindfulness, reduce isolation. And as well as that, you know, we have a lot of children in the community who have special needs. So this is why we invested some of the money from the 19,000 budget to buy these sensory toys, and we have made these sensory bags. So what we do, like I run the baby sensory session on Monday morning. So the aim is to give out these sensory bags for children to play and explore because they need ongoing sensory stimulation. So that is the main theme, which is the focus was basically on the health and well-being and on the safety of our community. And just to end, we'd like to thank all our volunteer supporters and all the residents in the community. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Thank you very much. It was amazing to hear from each and every one of the groups here today. And it just shows you, with a bit of seed funding, a bit of investment, what can be achieved. I'm going to ask for those patiently waiting online if there's any questions. So Anna, is there any questions that have come from any of our residents online?
Oh, hi everybody. None at the moment, but maybe circle back to us and we might have some.
No? Any questions from around the room here? It must have been amazing. Everything you said, everyone just loves it. So thank you for all our project leads. There's going to be an opportunity for the group members and residents to go around and have a conversation with each of your groups. So I'm going to ask Councillor Charlie McLean if she'll be kind enough to say a few words, Councillor.
Oh, hi everybody. Yeah, so I'm here at home and it's been really great actually being able to see all of the projects there, and it's so really it's clear that all the project leads are just so proud of what they've achieved, and you should be, because it's actually amazing what Plaistow have done. Now, just a disclaimer, I live in Plaistow, I'm a Plaistow resident, so I'm maybe slightly biased, but Plaistow is definitely one of our best neighbourhoods, not just from the residents and their enthusiasm and the project leads, but also the team there in the neighbourhood. And there was a recurring theme happening where everyone was saying, you know, that Saeed and Natasha and Afia and the rest of the team are just so helpful and go up and beyond all of the time just to try and unblock any blockages. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone for taking part, the working group members, the residents that voted. But I just wanted to flag a couple of the projects there. So true ambassadors are true ambassadors. I mean, they do so much to help the neighbourhood in all that they do, and they're truly amazing. And yeah, definitely live up to the name. The other one that I wanted to speak about was just Shaba, and listening to his story of, you know, I knew this already, but just hearing it again just reminded me that he started off as a working group member and thought, actually, you know, I've got some ideas. I'll do a project myself, and that's what he did. So yeah, big up to Shaba for what he did, and it should be an inspiration to you all to show that actually, you know, if you do have an idea, anything is possible. Power Places is just such a truly amazing initiative. As Saeed said, it's the one of the largest participatory budgeting exercises in the country, and it's something that this Labour administration is very proud of. And I hope that you will share that pride with me. So next month it will be going to Cabinet, and there will be it will go to Cabinet for the next cycle. And so watch this space and get involved. Tell your friends and your neighbours, People Power Places is the place to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councillor. And again, your councillors are very, very important in ensuring that that these projects are delivered, and they're very, very important that they do. We've got Councillor Joy Laguda just there. If you give everyone a wave, Councillor. So Councillor Joy Laguda, Plaistow North Councillor. So what we're going to do now, the next part of this session is we're now going to break out into something called Marketplace. So when you came into the room, you were given these bingo sheets. Yeah. So on those bingo sheets, there's some particular questions. So if you look at the questions, what you need to do is to go around the room and write down the name of. Oh, so I'm just going to say, before we do that, apologies, just going to say goodbye to everybody online. So thank you very much for those that joined us online. So if we give a wave to those guys, thank you very much. Okay, so with the sheets you've got, if you can go around each of the